Money, Marriage, and Media, and today we're looking at some street interviews. Looks like this is a collab between Just Pearly Things and It's Complicated. So look, we're gonna go right into this. It's Complicated involved. That means we're gonna get some high level conversation. So let's jump in.
Why is it that a man can marry a woman and make her queen, but a queen can't marry a man and make him king?
I wouldn't say that's not true. I feel like everybody's a queen and everybody's a king.
Somebody lying, because the chances of a woman who is a queen, right? She's going to date down to the peasants and raise him up to be a king. So many things wrong with that statement, but let's go.
From birth.
Well, if everyone was a king or a queen, why would a king or queen be special?
Everybody's special. You're special on your own. Believe in yourself. Believe that you can do anything you want to do. You are a queen. You are a king from birth. That is how God made us. God put us in this world to be great. Come on, everyone.
Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds good for the camera. Yep.
Can't be special. Everyone cannot be special.
Let me tell you something. Everybody is special. It's in you to dig deep and find it. Some people don't dig deep in their time that they have in life to get there. But I feel like everybody's born to be special. You just have to figure out.
If everybody's special, then how come she hadn't replied to those 99 DMs that she got from Instagram from the random guys who were just, shooting their shot?
What's special about you? You get what I'm saying?
No, I feel like some people.
Because I'm special doesn't mean you're not special.
No, I think sometimes people are average. I think most.
Why does my light dim yours?
Because if everyone's special, then no one's special.
It's not true.
Yeah, because if you're special, you have to be different than other people. Otherwise, you're just average.
But everybody's special in their way. I'm not saying that everybody's the same. I say everybody's special in their way. Just because, okay, you're special, you like, I don't know what you like. You might like rock. You might like this. I'm special. I like totally different things. That doesn't make me less special.
Yeah, but then there's still a million other people that have the same.
Like their own things too. All of us don't like the same combination of things. It's kind of like a combination lock. We don't have the same combination.
I think it's like narcissistic to think you're like special. Like I feel like that's narcissistic.
No, you should feel like you're special.
What are the chances that she actually knows what narcissistic means? Again, if everyone's special, okay, well, the last 10 guys that tried to talk to you, why didn't you give them your number? They're special. Yeah, sure.
Women tend to overvalue themselves while men tend to undervalue themselves.
Because, okay, so as men, when we grow.
This is a hard question because it could go either way. On one point, I agree with him. But on the other side of that is that if you're constantly getting rejected by women, then doesn't that mean that you're not undervaluing yourself? I mean, because the market determines your value. So if the market is constantly rejecting you, then what does that mean? Your value's not that high. So how are you undervaluing yourself if the results are backing that up?
We have friends that, tease us and bully us. They're like, oh man, your nose is big as hell. Like they tell us these things that, to women, it might sound demeaning, but to us, they're giving us a reality check. So from a young age, we grew up getting reality checks constantly in a joking manner. Your friends are going to joke with you and tease you. And I think on the other hand, women, they get more praises as they grow up. So they grow up all this time through, teenage years into adulthood. And then you wonder now when somebody actually tell you like, hey, your nose is kind of big. And you're like, I haven't been told that my whole life. Well, they're being lying.
Do you think that men tend to insult each other and not mean it, while women tend to compliment each other and not mean it?
100%. That pretty much is what I was saying. Like you summed it up. That's pretty much it. Men insult each other, and it's more of a endearment. Like, man, you ugly as hell, boy. You can't talk to me. Whereas a girl tells like, oh, girl, you look good, and then like, no, she doesn't. Like, that kind of stuff. So yeah, you summed it up pretty good.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I call women whales, and even if it's true, they get mad.
That's their problem. Go to the gym.
Yeah, that's what I say.
I feel like you should feel like you're beautiful. You should feel like you're that girl. You're that guy. You can do anything that you put your mind to.
This is random guy just stepping in the way there. But again, that happens with street interviews. But back to what she was saying. That's all well and good because that's inside your head. But when you step into reality, do you have the results to back it up? Because I guarantee you, if we move this to a topic where if the shoe is on, if we use that logic and throw it back at her, it's not she's not going to agree with that. Because again, the guy says that yeah, I'm a millionaire, and she's interested in him, and they start hanging out, and she realizes, well, dude, you're broke. I know that, but no, in my mind, I'm a millionaire. So yeah, we're good, right?
Him. He can do it.
Is he are you special, sir?
Because a man has to work for his worth. A woman is born with her worth.
Where did you learn that?
Just watching different people talk, different podcasts. I don't know if you familiar with the Fresh and Fit podcast, but
Shout out Fresh and Fit.
Shout out Fresh and Fit. They talk about all that on there, and it's just, it opens the mind up because it's what's happening. Like, females can take advantage of their bodies and just off of how they look and just take it off. And a man can't do that. You know what I mean?
I mean, for me, like, I've always identified myself in the sense of like what a feminist is in terms of I believe in equality. I want the same equal rights for everyone. But I kind of stumbled upon your videos. It really kind of opened my eyes to like this, all the things I've kind of been told about like women need to be pumped up. They need all this extra stuff. And it kind of peeled back that onion a bit. And I was like, I kind of want to dive into this a bit more. It kind of opened my eyes to a new light of that. So,
would he have had that same reaction if she wasn't there? That's debatable. I mean, because I started watching your content. That makes it seem like, yeah, dude, you're just saying that because she's there. What do y'all think? He saw her on YouTube and said, "Oh yeah, I know her." Yeah,
that's more what kind of gravitated me to your stream. Was more it opened my eyes in a way where I was like, I feel like I've been lied to a little bit.
Oh, you feel like you've been lied to?
Yeah, well, it's just because you go out and you're a man and it's you've got it so easy. You don't have to deal with this. You don't have to deal with that. And a lot of women don't realize what, especially like single men, like if you're a really attractive guy, you've got every girl hitting on you. It's really great. But, the average guy spends a lot of time by himself, dealing with problems himself. And until he gets to that point of I'm successful, especially if you're not a guy who's like, what's that quote? It's 6 figures, 6 foot, and
okay. I'm having a hard time believing this guy because usually he's talking the way he's coming off is like this just happened. He just came to this revelation because Just Probably Things is not like she hadn't been running that show for that long. But he's talking like he just found all this stuff out. Usually when guys find this stuff out, when they come to this realization, there's a little bit of anger there. This dude doesn't seem anything like that. So it makes me wonder if he is just spitting back the YouTube talking points because the camera's out. And again, she's in front of me and I recognize her. So yeah, okay.
6 inches, all that kind of stuff. It's,
the other thing, he might be inebriated. I don't know.
yeah, it's almost belittling as that double standard, and I really
Almost
don't like
belittling?
it. So I've really identified with a lot of the points you make, and it's really helped me find a voice for things I couldn't really put into words prior.
They technically, for the most part, have the power in the relationship.
So why do you think women want equality in everything except for dating?
I think that goes back.
Because a lot of women are situational feminists. They want to be a feminist when it suits them. And you know what? I'm starting to think that the maybe the high level part of the conversation is that, that's true. And men, maybe the thing that's missing from us is that we're trying to be a traditional 100% of the time. Maybe that's what's wrong with the relationships today is that Maybe guys need to be more modern when it suits us and traditional when it suits us. Or maybe let me rephrase that. We need to be modern and traditional when it suits the benefit of the relationship. So, I mean, because right now it's marriage rates are too low in our community, and we got to try something different. In the past, men are required to be traditional 100% of the time, but that's not working anymore. It's not. Let's face it. It's not. Our marriage rates in our community they're in the toilet, and then divorce rates are higher than the marriage rates. So we've got to start trying something different, and maybe that's what's missing there. Let's keep going.
Back to like they just don't want people to tell them what to do. Like they just want control.
Do you think it's more about control and power than equality?
You know what? I think it is because a lot of the things that are when they're equal, it's like, okay, well now we can both do this. We can both lift these boxes, and it's like, nah, I don't want to lift these boxes. You go lift.
Conditionally, yeah, or no situation, yeah, based on the situation.
These boxes, you know. It's very conditional. It's about what they want at that time.
A lot of the questions that I ask on my channel are often met with responses like it goes both ways. If it does go both ways, why do you think that women dominate the mainstream media when it comes to talking about women's issues while men's content is forced to remain online?
I don't feel like it's equal at all.
Because it doesn't go both ways. We're going back to that situational argument again. It's like, okay, well, the situation calls for it. If women are going to benefit from it, then whatever situation is going to benefit them, that's where they need to have it. Again, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that, because it's really just self-preservation at the end of the day. Because again, it may be the solution is that guys, we need to be more situational in ourselves. What we really need to do is we need to update the concept of marriage. And as strange as that sounds, because I know we've had it forever, but at the same time, it's not working anymore in our community. I think we need to redefine it. How we're going to redefine it, I have no idea. But I'm willing to have a conversation though.
All because women are more subjective to their feelings and other women are more subjective to their feelings, you know what I mean? And so it's just like a woman is gonna feel bad for another woman, but a man is supposed to go through hard times and go through the struggle to make his success, you know what I mean?
I was just gonna say that that's one thing that I don't understand, because we really do not pay attention to men's mental health and things that they go through. We always worry about women, but men definitely go through it too. I know it's not easy for a woman, but it's definitely not easy for a man as well. So I feel like it's...
Okay, so here, mental health issues are not easy for anybody. Mental health issues suck, man. When you got to go through that stuff, you need a licensed professional. Again, bachelor's in psychology. So yeah, I read up a lot about mental health, and yeah, it's not easy for anybody. Let's just leave it at that.
It should be equally,
But it's just like that's the thing. Like, even though me and you treat it like that, a lot of people don't. Like, a lot of people don't see it as equal, because especially a lot of females feel like a man should prioritize their woman first before anything, and a man is supposed to be the front line of defense. Like, if a man, like a woman's supposed to, like a woman, all right, a woman looks for a traditional man, right, without being a traditional woman, and a woman.
Okay, so it sounds like he's trying, like he's having no problems articulating himself, but even then, it's almost like he's just regurgitating the YouTube talking points, and he doesn't really live this stuff in his own life. Because again, what is he talking about with him and his girl? They're on point with each other, but society's not. So it's not really real life for him. Now, I think what he's trying to say is that if the man is supposed to be the first line of defense, then who is watching that man's back? Should be the woman and the family, but a lot of times it's not, because a lot of times what's going on is women feel like the man is supposed to cater to them. Yes and no. Like again, if we got you got to have in a marriage, you got to have that conversation up front on the front end to figure out what roles or how how the terms of the marriage are going to work. Now, again, if we're coming up with new concepts for marriage, which I highly recommend we do, there's going to be a lot of nuances to marriage. Like again, we need more examples of the different types of people being successfully married. So, because that way you have something to go off of. I think the way things are right now is that you just got traditional marriage, and that's the only way we know how to make things work. But again, if it's not working, then we've got to start having more conversations about what does work and what are the possibilities. Like I said, I'm open to have a conversation, but it needs to be relatable to real life and not just some YouTube talking points. But I'm gonna go ahead and move forward because we're starting to get off topic here.
Woman is so quick to say something about what a man is supposed to do and what a man is not supposed to do, but what is a woman supposed to do? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, why do you think that women enjoy all the things that are traditional when it comes to dating and courtship, but then a lot of old-fashioned values women often label to be sexist?
That's a good one.
Because it benefits them. Human nature.
Because some people just want their cake and eat it too, and that's the problem.
Do you think that women are more likely to have their cake and eat it too, or men are?
As human beings, we're programmed like that. So if you give me the opportunity to have cake and eat it, I'm gonna eat it.
Can you name any double standards in relationships that benefit men?
Not much. I mean, I'm probably not gonna be able to think of any right now, but I know there's
within a relationship there are none.
Probably some.
I could tell you one.
Yeah, sure.
The sleeping around, I'd say that's a double standard. But
again, that doesn't apply to most relationships, though. Most women are going to leave if you sleep around, so that doesn't apply to relationships.
outside of that, I've done the show for months. I that's the only one I could think of.
Yeah, I think that's one, right? But that usually comes from some type of displeasure in the relationship. I think if you're genuinely happy and content, you're not going to step out. I think when you step out is because there's something lacking.
Yeah, I think so too. And a lot of times, like, girls don't sleep with the guys they're dating or their husband. 1 in 4 marriages are sexless. So it's like, do you think that men should be blamed for cheating if she's not sleeping with him?
If you're not giving your husband or partner sex, which is a major part, and I know some people say, "Oh, sex is not that big of a deal." Bullshit. Kick the rocks. If you're not giving it and you're using it as a weapon, then I don't think you should then be upset or disappointed when that person steps out.
Okay, here's my thoughts on that. You got a bigger problem going on. Because number one, you chosen a woman who is using sex as a weapon against you because reasons. I don't know, it could be a bunch of stuff in there. But the point is that she's using it as a weapon against you because she feels like she can't talk to you anymore. So you need to get to the bottom of that, because a woman who is doing that, man, she's on her way out the door anyway. So this might be a situation where she's setting you up to cheat just to divorce you. Don't fall for that. Y'all at that point, y'all need counseling. You need to seek the help of a licensed professional.
It's like if I have a child and I'm not feeding my child or I'm not nurturing him and taking care of him, if he goes to the neighbor and the neighbor is cooking him meals, as a parent, yeah, I'm going to be upset, but logically I shouldn't be because I'm not doing my responsibility.
Do you guys think women in general care about men's problems?
No.
At face value, yes. In reality, no.
Yeah, I would say absolutely no.
So why do you think that our society labels women to be more nurturing if they're really not empathetic to men's issues?
That's interesting.
Because they're nurturing with kids. Yeah.
That's a good way of putting that.
Another way to put it is that men are supposed to be strong and independent. So the attitude is that, well, if you're strong and independent, I shouldn't have to worry about your problems. You're good on your own. Which speaks to a bigger issue, because how many times have we heard the term toxic masculinity, right? You're toxic. You don't talk about your feelings. It's bad and all this other stuff. But yet still women tend not to care about men's issues. You see the double standard there? You want a guy to talk about his problems, but but reality is that if you don't care about men's issues, who's he supposed to talk to about it? That's why we don't say anything. But no, but in all seriousness, yeah, guys, we need to start speaking up. But again, this is why it's so important. Why we need more average people with YouTube platforms or platforms on social media, period, so we can start getting these issues out here in the open. Because again, if you bring it to the forefront, we have no choice but to start discussing it. Again, if women say they want marriage, right? And you're a guy who's looking to get married, then you 100% should be leveraging men's issues in order to get some compliance in there, to get what you want. Because if that woman wants commitment from you, then you need to see how she responds to male issues. Plain and simple. That's the quickest way. Because think about it. You need to be using that as leverage. Your commitment is a valuable commodity, especially if you're gonna make a good husband. You should 100% be talking about that before you get married. Never marry a woman who has no opinion on male issues. That's just gonna make your life miserable.
I'm not well versed on this stuff. Sorry.
Men don't believe in mental health.
As many of you know, I was just
okay. I want to see what the next one looks like, because you talking about men don't care about mental health. Somebody lying. That's all I can say. So if they come out with a new episode of that, then I'll circle back around. But this is a good interaction, and mainly because it's good to see. Number one, it's great to see two YouTubers collaborating, but mostly it's good to see because I think that you get more honest responses from women when women are asking the questions. Honestly, I think that's why Pearl is having so much, the amount of success that she's having is because she basically takes men's talking points and introduces it to women, and then you get more of and you can see the effect on the women a lot more. Women tend to take in these scenarios, women tend to value the opinion of women more than men, and it's a less combative because I don't think she's had to kick anybody off her platform for getting into an argument. But you think about you think about content creators like Kevin Samuels, Fresh and Fit. I mean, come on, these guys got famous for kicking women off their show. But same thing with Kevin Samuels. I mean, it got to the point where he's having to say, okay, I'm gonna hang up on you because this is not worth dealing with. I don't think she's had to do that, and I think it's because women trust other women more. This goes back to now that I mentioned it, this goes back to an issue that I had that I talked about in another video, where it seems like the majority of women have a fear of the men. So we're definitely gonna have to keep an eye on that. It's again, high level conversations going on. We're able to peel back some layers. I learned a couple things myself. So guys, I'm gonna say goes to the next time. Peace. Thanks for making it to the end of this video, but do me another favor, like and subscribe, but also check out these here. Either subscribe or watch videos, one or the other. I don't know which side, but hey, all right.